The mirror in the closet. There was a girl who had a bedroom closet. On the inside of the closet door, there was a large full-length mirror. This girl was a thrill seeker and she loved to freak herself out. Sometimes, she would open the closet door at night and stare at her reflection in the mirror. One night, when she did this, she was surprised to see an interesting effect. Due to the interplay of light and shadow, when she looked in the mirror it seemed like her reflection had black, empty eye sockets and a huge, gaping mouth. After admiring the optical illusion for a moment, the girl went to the bathroom. But when she turned on the bathroom light, she remembered something that made her lock herself inside the bathroom and start screaming loud enough to wake her parents and half the neighbors. What did she remember? Earlier that day, her father had removed the mirror from her closet door. 2. The glass of water. I have a brother named Sergey, who is 4 years older than me. We live with our parents in a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. There's not a lot of space, so my brother and I have to share a room. We have bunk beds. I sleep on the bottom bunk and my brother sleeps on the top. One night, my parents went to visit our relatives who live in the country. I stayed out late with my friends. When I got home, it was already past midnight. I didn't want to wake my brother, so I didn't turn on the light. I just undressed in the hallway and went into our room. As I was getting into bed, I heard my brother groan and ask for a drink of water. I went to the kitchen, filled up a glass with water. When I returned to our bedroom, I sat down on the bottom bunk, took a couple of sips, then handed the glass to my brother. He took it from my hand. "Good night," I said, and I climbed into bed. I fell asleep almost instantly. Some time later, I was awoken by the sound of knocking. With difficulty, I opened my eyes. It was still dark. I looked at the clock. It was after 6 a.m. Who could be coming to visit so early, I thought. I yawned, pulled myself out of bed and went to open the door. There stood my brother. "Where were you?" I asked. "I stayed the night in my girlfriend's place," he replied. Suddenly I understood the meaning of his words. "You didn't come home last night?" I asked. "No," my brother said. With a pounding heart, I walked back to the bedroom and turned on the light. The top bunk was empty and beside the pillow, there was an empty glass. 3. I'll wait here. One night, not so long ago, I was walking home with a friend of mine. We both lived in the same apartment building. It was a dark autumn night and the rain was pelting down. All of a sudden, there was a loud roar and we heard a car swerve on the road. We were caught in the glare of a bright yellow and a car plowed into us. We were tossed head over heels into the ditch. My friend and I were covered in mud. The driver had never even bothered to stop. We helped each other out of the ditch and by the light of our mobile phones we started checking each other for injuries. We seemed to have escaped without even a bruise. We cursed the driver for being so careless and continued walking. When we reached our apartment building, we stopped to smoke a cigarette outside. When we finished smoking, I told my friend I was going home to bed. He said, "You go ahead, I'll wait here for a while." I woke up in a hospital bed. My body was covered in bandages and plaster. I was dizzy, disoriented and nauseous. Puzzled, I asked the nurse, "Where am I? What happened to me?" "You're in hospital," the nurse replied. "You just woke up from a 3-day coma. You were hit by a car, but you miraculously survived." The police found you lying in the road. What about my friend? I asked. I'm sorry, she replied. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. When I got over the shock, I recalled the last words my friend said to me when we were saying goodbye at the entrance to our building. You go ahead, I'll wait here for a while. For daughter's birthday, in a small town, a woman stood by the side of the road. She was holding a bouquet of flowers in her hand and nervously fingering the hem of her dress. She hailed a taxi, and when it stopped, she got in. Quickly, please, she said. I'm late, you're meeting someone? The taxi driver asked. Yes, it's my daughter's birthday, said the woman. She's 25 years old today. She's waiting to meet me at 3 p.m. Well, it's already 10 minutes to 3, said the driver. I'd better drive fast, so as not to be late. Where to? North Cemetery, please, the woman replied, and she stared at the driver, her eyes filled with bitterness and tears. He glanced back at her in surprise, but did not say anything. The woman was almost in tears. You know, my daughter left me a month ago, she said, and yesterday she called me and said, Mom, if you miss me so much, come to visit me on my birthday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On the woman's face there was a trembling smile. She's waiting for me. The driver slowed down. There was a traffic jam in front and none of the cars were moving. It's okay, we're near enough, said the woman. I'll make it on foot. She got out of the taxi, paid the fare and hurried towards the cemetery. The driver watched as she disappeared around the corner. He waited, and eventually the cars in front began to move. As he drove past the cemetery, he saw a familiar bouquet of flowers scattered on the road. There had been a terrible accident. A woman had been hit by a car and killed. It was the same woman who had been in his taxi. The driver looked at the clock. It was exactly 3 p.m. 5. Who's in the bedroom? We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. My father and mother sleep in one bedroom and I share the other bedroom with my sister. My sister always goes to bed before me, because she has to get up early for work. It was just after 10 o'clock in the evening when I came home. My sister was getting ready to go to sleep. I was in the living room, using the computer, but I felt tired and decided to go to bed early. 5. Who's in the bedroom? We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. My father and mother sleep in one bedroom and I share the other bedroom with my sister. My sister always goes to bed before me, because she has to get up early for work. It was just after 10 o'clock in the evening when I came home. My sister was getting ready to go to sleep. I was in the living room, using the computer, but I felt tired and decided to go to bed early. 5. Who's in the bedroom? We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. My father and mother sleep in one bedroom and I share the other bedroom with my sister. My sister always goes to bed before me, because she has to get up early for work. It was just after 10 o'clock in the evening when I came home. My sister was getting ready to go to sleep. I was in the living room, using the computer, but I felt tired and decided to go to bed early. I stopped at the door and looked at my sister. Her face was angry. It even scared me. I went down the hallway to the bathroom, but it was already occupied. I stood waiting in the hallway for a few minutes and my mother came out of the living room. Dad's taking a long time in there, I said, gesturing towards the bathroom. No, he's in the living room, watching TV, my mother said. I looked at her in surprise. He's watching TV? Then the bathroom door opened and my sister came out. I was shocked. "What's wrong?" she asked when she saw the look on my face. But, who's in the bedroom?" I stammered. I rushed down the hallway to the bedroom and turned on the light. The beds were empty. There was no one there, just a pile of crumpled clothes. I still ask myself the question. What would have happened if I lay down when my sister told me to?